How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's well. Trying to get on a bit early just so we can get people on the live as soon as possible. How's everything been for everyone in the quarantine? Yeah, nice one. All good, all good, all good. Just try and stay active as possible. See, not really much to do other than try and keep fit. Watch Netflix. Nothing much really, man. Yeah, of course. Me too. Me too. Can't wait for this to finish. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just get as much people on. This is gonna be a very good one. With Micah Richards. So let's try and get as much people on the live as possible. Quads, you right? Yeah, I got Mike in.
I'll go back a little bit. Can you hear me? No, not really, no.
That better? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah, all good, all good, man.
What's happening, man?
It's
What's happening?
nothing, bro. Listen, just trying to stay active with the quarantine and the lockdown and all that sort of stuff. And just trying to keep the kids inspired and keep them going. Really. Listen, it's a pleasure to get you on as well. I know you got media duties and all that sort of stuff. So,
Don't worry, man.
listen,
It's a
thanks for
pleasure,
coming
man.
on,
It's a
man.
pleasure, pleasure.
No. What are you doing to keep active?
Me, I've been working though, to be fair. I've been doing like
Yeah,
programs. I've done a little bit for BBC, for Premier League Productions,
yeah,
little bits and pieces for Sky as well. So keeping active, man.
yeah.
I've been
No, I hear you,
working,
bro.
but it's nice because I'm lucky I get to
Hey,
work from home, you know what I mean? So
no,
I just try to, because I love football, so without football, I'm pulling my hair out. Probably like everyone, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So I'm fortunate that I can still be working, so it's blessed.
of course. Listen, I know you got media duties shortly, so we're gonna try and get through as much as we can. But just to start off, just tell us a little bit about your journey, just sort of as a youngster. Like, what was your sort of inspiration? How did you get into football initially?
You
What
know
was it for
what?
you?
I didn't really like. I liked just playing with my friends. You know, I didn't really. You know, you got all these kids who are always like, "Oh, I want to be this player. I want to be that player." I didn't really want to be any player when I was young. You know, I used to just play with my friends on the street and in the park. We used to have little tournaments and that, and then like when you go to school and that, that's when you start. Oh, do you want to play for a team and stuff? So I was in like primary school. I'm in a primary school team, but nothing too much. But for me, I just enjoy playing it. I think now with the youngsters and stuff, like there's too much pressure, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
Whereas
agree.
when I was young, I could just be free and just enjoy what I wanted to do, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Did you play
But
grassroots football or not? Not really, just
yeah,
school
so,
stuff.
so I had the team called Ford Green. Ford Green. It's like Chapeltown area, and my friend's dad used to take that team. So I was playing for other teams at the time. I used to play for like four teams at the same time. It was like Leeds City Boys, Oldham, Farley Celtic, and then Ford Green, and then Chapeltown as well. So I was playing for different teams when I could, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
And I didn't really put too much pressure on myself. I just used to love playing football. But now I think too many people are too focused on like the end goal instead of just enjoying football. You know what I mean?
yeah. Tell us about the academy journey for you. So I see you obviously you grew up in Birmingham, but you spent a lot of time in Leeds. So Leeds was like the first sort of academy experience for you. So tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about.
it's mad because everyone thinks I'm from Birmingham. I was born in Birmingham, but I
Yeah.
actually, I've got family in Birmingham, but I'm not from there. My mum was just
Okay.
visiting one of my relatives, and I was born in Birmingham. I don't know why she was going to a party when she was 9 months pregnant, to be honest. But yeah, I'm a Leeds boy. You can't tell my accent. I'm
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
Leeds. I mean, everyone thinks I'm Manchester because I moved to Manchester when I was 14. But
Yeah.
nah, I'm from Chapeltown in Leeds. Um,
What age did you actually enter the Leeds academy?
so I went to Leeds at 8, and I
Okay.
got released. I got released though. I got
Okay.
released. Yeah, I got released. I was a striker back then, and then um, I went to like local Leeds City Boys. It was called. So it was like best in the county, but not quite academy level.
Yeah.
So I was playing there for a while, and I was just enjoying my football, and there was no pressure. Just go out and do your thing. And then I was lucky because scouts always used to come, and that's when Oldham Athletic picked me up. I was there for a couple of years, and Oldham Athletic picked me up at 11 years old.
Okay.
And that
What
was a school of excellence then. It wasn't really
like an academy? Yeah.
academy.
Yeah.
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 So there was a big difference between school of excellence back then and then
And the
academy.
academy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the level was so different. Like I went from being like one of the best players at Oldham to like the worst player at Man City
And
at
City. Yeah.
14. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was too the gap was too big.
It's the pool of players as well. There's obviously like a pool of top players as well when you go into like the bigger clubs. So like
Yeah,
it's a massive difference.
but they've been there since there was like 8, 9, or
The
even
City.
like some are younger, like 6 and 7. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
they'd been through the whole process of knowing how to turn, half turn, looking over his shoulder. You know all the things that
Yeah.
you take for granted, but
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
already learned it for years. So I was miles behind.
What was it like for you getting released? Like, how did you take it when you first got released at Leeds?
You know what? It's like anything in it. It's more it's disappointment, but it's embarrassment as well. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
you know what it's like if someone in the family is playing for Leeds United, because back then Leeds United was still our massive, but it was massive. So you tell your family that I'm at Leeds now, and then someone asks you, oh, what's the training like, and then you've got to break it to them, or I got released. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard, especially as a youngster as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was tough, but I suppose that just made me stronger going through my career.
Yeah.
You always get
Did you
this.
have a big? Sorry. What was you gonna say?
No, I just say you always have these little setbacks, and that was probably the first setback in my life in terms of football that I had.
I feel the more setbacks you have is sort of better for you because it gives you more of a learning curve, don't it? Like the more
Yeah,
obstacles.
definitely. I just sometimes I feel like that some people have to work twice as hard, or 3 times or 4 times. You know what I mean? As hard. And
Yeah.
when you're a youngster growing up, you're just always like, well, that's not fair, or that's not fair. And I just say to the youngsters now who ask me for advice and that, just don't worry about anyone else. You know what I mean? Don't worry
Yeah.
about anyone else. Just focus on yourself and enjoy football.
What was your support network like as a youngster? Like, did you have a massive support network, or was it sort
Well,
of
it's
difficult?
mad because I've got 4 sisters and 3 brothers and loads of auntie and uncles, but no one really liked football like that when I was growing up. People like watching it, but my dad used to work 2 jobs, and he still used to be able to take me to football. Me getting a chance in football, I owe all to my dad because you see them people who, when someone gets to the top and they think, oh well, they've done this for him and that for him, but like I wouldn't have had anything without my dad taking me to football. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
like it's crazy because there was loads of people in my area who was I won't say better than me because you can't say that, but there's a couple of players who would say on the same level who could have made it professional, but because they
Yeah.
didn't have the dads or mums or uncles or aunties available to take them. They didn't get the chance. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's hard to see and hard to take, to be honest.
See that is. I'm glad you said that, because then that's sort of, for those listening in, that's massive. That, you know, the young players, they need, you know, a little bit of a support network to help them through their journey. That is very important, and it just gives them a better chance, really, doesn't it? Like just having someone there throughout the journey for them.
Yeah, I think you always need someone. I think, like I said, without my dad, I wouldn't have really had that chance. And it doesn't even have to be, you know, family members. I remember one time, or a couple of times, my dad was working 3 jobs at the time, and he couldn't take me. So my school teacher took me. He was called Mr. Moore.
Yeah,
Um, in my primary school, he used to take me to Leeds City Boys. And if he couldn't have took me at the time, him and my dad used to share it out. So um, I think that good support network is key. You know what I mean? And I've got loads of people always ringing me and asking me about what it's like. You know, you're from quite a rough area and this, that, and that. How did you? I said, you know what? Like, there's always things going on around you. You know, that's life. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I think us as individuals can if we make the right choices, don't worry about what everyone else is doing, focus on what you need to do, and, you know, speak to the right people and have the, you know, the right support around you, then you'll be all right.
so going on to like the Man City, sort of your Man City time, you did burst onto the scene. Like, that's a fact. That's a fact. Look, you come through quite young. I remember, because at the time when you came through, Man City like had a pool of young players coming through at the time, and it was quite good for their academy, especially back then. That they always had players coming through, and when you came through, it didn't take you long till you was like you was definitely in the top 5 right backs in the Premier League, 100%.
Yeah, it was. You know what it was? It's one of them things where I don't want to say I had too much too soon, because I don't like that phrase. I don't really like that phrase, but you do start to believe the hype a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then you forget about. I won't say forget about the things that got you there, but you forget, or you stop doing or stop working as hard as you should be because you
yeah,
feel like you've made it. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And don't forget, Man City weren't the same squad there was, say, now.
Yeah,
So, like, I thought I'd made it to the top because I was one of the best players in my team. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
in you know, for me, I think I did get, I won't say lazy, but I rested on my laurels a little bit, definitely.
yeah. What managers would you say had like the biggest influence on you?
Uh, Stuart Pearce, he gave him a debut at 17. He was just, you know, obviously, he was a top player, but he was just honest. You know, like these managers, I think, or I know you're not doing a lot of work there in the community as well, but I think people just like, you know, when someone's honest with them. I don't know
Yeah,
when people said, oh, you know, or they said, you know, like the skirt around the truth a little bit. I think that's when it comes round, and I think the relationship with me and Stuart Pearson is just honest with me from day one. So these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses. You do this on the weekend for me, and you'll play, and that's
yeah,
how simple it was. You know what I mean? Um, Sven Göran Eriksson, another top manager who I played under, he just gave me my freedom to go do what I want. I was playing for England at that stage as well, so another good manager. Mark Hughes was actually a good manager as well, but we didn't really. I didn't really play my best under him for some reason. I don't know if it was because of expectation of me, you know, because I was playing for England, and maybe I was not playing as well for Man City as I was for England because I was playing with better players. But the expectation wasn't too great. But my favourite manager is Mancini, because I think he made me into a better player, if you know what I
yeah,
mean. I
yeah,
think he worked on me like tactically more than any manager could do, and I
yeah,
think he was the one who took my game to the next level, which a lot of people actually think my career was all at the start, but my best ever season was under Mancini when we won the league. You know what I mean?
yeah. So you see, let's say for example, or did you ever have a manager that didn't favour you as much, and how did you deal with that as a player? Because you got a lot of young players in the academies now where, you know, in academies they change coaches every season. I don't know if they was doing that with when you was playing, but they change coaches every season, and some coaches might not favour that particular player. So when you was as a pro, when you had different managers, did you ever have a manager that didn't favour you, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah, I had loads of managers that didn't favour me. Like I said, when I went to Man City the academy at 14, like
Yeah,
I was one of the worst players. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
when you've got good players and they're all good players. When you've got better players, let's say, the coaches always seem to shine to the ones who are the better players. That's just,
yeah,
that's just normal.
yeah,
And then they tend to shout at the players who are not so good because they're not getting it as quick, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
So I just use that as fuel, really. You know what I mean? I just feel that, well, I'm going to show you like why I should be here. There's managers have told me that I don't think you're good enough. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But I just always try and flip it on the head when I'll show you, and I know I'm good enough because I wouldn't be here otherwise. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Of
And
course.
I think what the young ones or young people need to realize, like, what one coach or two coaches don't define you. You know what I mean? Their
Yeah,
negativity doesn't define you. There's so many players who had a better chance than me and not made it, and players who are worse, who have gone on to do better things. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
True.
Because
Yeah,
they've not let that one person or that one coach or someone define them. You're best off. All right, fair enough. You don't like my work, but I'm still going to work hard and try to prove you
yeah.
wrong. That's the best way to deal. That's the best advice I could give to anyone.
Oh, that's top. Look, the proof's in the pudding. That within a year, you know, you burst on the scene in England for the England squad. um, Listen, at the time, Gary Neville was like top right back, and
Yeah,
you were competing with someone that, you know, he established that position, and you basically gave any manager that came in food for thought. That I thought you was top when you came through. And what was that like
yeah.
for you?
It was. You know what it was. It was good as well because I just was enjoying it. You know what I mean? You could see the
Yeah,
way I was playing. I was just enjoying my football. I wasn't getting involved in any scuffle, any ruffle. I was hard in the tackle, but I loved to go forward. You know what I mean? I just loved it. But when I went to England, I sort of seen that it's all eyes on not just me, but everyone in that squad, if you know what I mean. So you could be playing so well for Man City, making mistakes probably every week and might not get picked up or not be highlighted. But when you play for England and the whole of England is watching you, you've
yeah,
got so many opinions, and then you're like, wow, actually, like, you start reading papers and you start thinking, oh, what do people think of me? You start
yeah.
overthinking about things that before in my game I'd never, was thinking about. So playing for England was obviously a major, major honour, but at the same time, there's a lot of pressure that come with it.
Hmm. What was your best goal playing for? Firstly, club career, and then international.
International, I just got one goal, so it was
Yeah,
for England against Israel. We won 4-0, so it was a header. Quite a nice goal, to be honest. And wow, for Man City, I only scored about 9 goals in my career, to be fair. Um, but again, probably my favourite one was the goal against Villa when I was 17 in the FA Cup when I swore on TV afterwards. Yeah, that was
so,
years. That
someone
was
me-
years.
someone mentioned in the comments against Everton, roof of the net.
Yeah, to be fair, that was a good goal as well. That was a last minute goal as well. But yeah, to be fair, with my leap and stuff and the way I used to go forward, I should have scored more than the goals that I should. But to be fair, I was defender, and first and foremost, I just like to defend.
Talk to us about the injuries, because that is something that I would say really like affected your career, because you got injured quite frequently, similar to like Ledley King. Like you guys were both like top players, and the injuries just it just delayed your rhythm. Every time you was getting into a rhythm, there was another injury. How did that affect you mentally, and what did you do to deal with all of that sort of stuff?
You see, the injury one was the hard one. I can take people not calling me good. I can take people not wanting to play me. I can take all that stuff because that's part and part of football. You sort of learn to have thick skin, but the injuries I couldn't deal with. You know what I mean? Because it was one of them things where I was like, I do all my rehab, I go out and train, my knee would feel fine, and the next day it would just swell up. You know what I mean? And it was just like, and one day it would feel good, next day it would feel like it was just, it was hard. You know what I mean? Because you wanted to play football.
Yeah.
But I had my first operation when I was, I think, 18. And then I think I had four more operations after that. And every time I had an injury, I'd just lose I couldn't turn in the end. It was taking me longer to turn, you know what I mean? So all these things where I was quite agile when I first come on, I was quick, but I was big, but I was quite agile.
Yeah.
It was taking me longer to turn on all that things, and it was just like it was parts of my game of, you know, why I, you know, came onto the scene so fast is because, and that was coming out of the game because of my injuries. So every time I had a new operation, or if it wasn't my knee, it was my hamstring. If it wasn't my hamstring, it was my ankle. And that in football, I think that's the hardest thing to deal with because there's players who I was lucky enough to manage to sustain a career throughout. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's players who I played with when there was getting to that level where there was going to turn professional contract who had bad injuries and they didn't make it. So I feel for them more, you know what I mean? At least
Yeah.
I managed to sustain it. But yeah, it was tough as well because as well my time as at the end with Villa, like my knee was so bad, like but I was taking like injections. I was taking. You're supposed to take like anti-inflammatories. You're supposed to take like 2 max a day. I was taking like 5 or 6 just so I could train. And I was just made, and that's how obsessed I was with football. But in the end, I was just like, what are you doing to you? You know, you've got there's more to life than football. I didn't see it at the time, but the injuries, I never really got over them. So for me to try and tell somebody like how to deal with them, I can't because it's physically impossible. You know, if you had any injury, you can deal with, but a reoccurring injury like my knee, it's borderline impossible to deal with that.
I noticed a little earlier you mentioned about like the papers, and you used to read into the papers a lot, which I imagined a lot of the players must do. Just speaking on that, it's like a big topic that we've sort of had with I've had with various different coaches and stuff like that. Just on the stuff with Raheem Sterling, so you're seeing that he gets a little bit more stick than maybe other players, you know, let's say the coloured players get more stick for some reason with the media. You see recently that you had loads of players watching Tory Lane's live quarantine radio, and the papers only highlighted Carl Walker, Sancho, Rashford, and Sterling. You know, four young black players that are, you know, doing well within their careers, and there was so much other players in there because I even saw a lot of players in there, but none of them got mentioned. You know, what do you think about that, and how do you guys deal with that as players?
You know what? It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult to deal with that. But the only way you can deal with people who you know, I don't want to address the media as anything. Do you know what I mean? I just see them trying to do their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know some journalists have got hidden agendas. We know that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's like with football. The best way to answer to that is to do it on the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, people are going to be racist. People are going to be racist. But we live in the times where it's slowly got better. It's not gone. You know, we naively said it was gone. It's not gone at all. But it's, you know, from when John Barnes and them boys used to be playing, you know, we've got to see how far we've come. And I'm more interested in, you know, how far we can go again and how far we can take it rather than criticizing what the people doing to us now, because the people who write them stuff, they know what they're doing,
Yeah, of
and
course.
they want a reaction. You know what I mean? Like you talk to me and you're asking me about that now. So you asking me about that now, that's the reaction that they want. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I think we should do it in another way where, if some, obviously it's different. Every scenario is different. Like with the England with the booing stuff when they was getting racial abuse, should they walked off? I would have said yes, 100%. I keep it 100. I would have said yes. You know what I mean? We got the team together, and I would have
Yeah,
walked off. But the more they keep throwing the stones, and the more we keep sort of addressing them, it's making them bigger anyway. You know what I mean? It's giving them the time and that they want, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
And for as much as they are, prejudiced against certain players, there's loads of good people who have uplifted me and other black players as well. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I would rather sort of single out them, and rather than concentrate on the negative, because that's what they want us to do. You know what I mean?
yeah. So,
And it
co-
is hard. It is hard for for any player out there, whatever color you are. People are always going to judge. People are always going to not like you for being different, whatever you are. But all you have to do in that situation is be true to yourself. Don't by reacting to them, they are winning. You know what I mean? I've been time when you think I've not wanted time when I've wanted to fight.
it's just gone bad reception.
I got you back
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah, I got you back.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'd rather. It is hard to see. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It is really hard to see.
Did,
But
how does like when some of the other players see that happening to like their peers, do they sort of speak to them about it, or does everyone just sort of leave it? How does it
no,
work?
no.
Yeah,
When I was in football, if someone went down, we all would speak about it,
okay,
100%, and we would see um, which way we want to take it. If you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Because there's certain situation, sometimes addressing one situation can blow it up
yeah,
massively. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's not that I don't want everyone to think that we're ignoring it, or we're brushing it off. We're not. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's about how can we combat it. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
in
of
the
course,
right way, while remaining professional at the same
yeah,
time. If you know
hmm,
what I mean?
yeah,
Because at the same time as we're footballers, we're not politicians. So we can do our bit, but at the same time, let's do our talking on the pitch, and
yeah,
anything else that we can help with, then we'll try as well. If you know what I mean?
yeah. So what was it like eventually moving abroad? Stint in Florentina. How was that for you? The experience?
It was unbelievable. It was amazing. The Italian people in Florence was amazing. I swear, it was like a fairy tale. Like you go there, everyone's so nice. Training grounds like a mile away from town. It's always the sun shining, and then an hour training maximum, and then you're back home with like your friends, and you just at a coffee shop all day from like 1 in the afternoon till like 10 at night, go again. And it's so relaxed over there. They know how to live life over there. Like when you come down to London, because I work a lot in London now, it's like hustle and bustle every time. Over
Yeah,
there, everyone's just so relaxed and chilled. It's just, honestly, I really enjoy my time. I wish I would have played more games. I think I only played like 20 games, 10 in the league and 10 in the cup games. I wish I would have played more when I was there, but my time there, absolutely loved it. Loved it.
you was on loan, wasn't you? You
Yeah, I
left.
was just on loan from Man
Okay,
City. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then you moved to Villa after
Yes, I
that.
moved to Villa after Fiorentina. Yeah,
On the team.
on a free contract. Yeah.
What was that like? Your time at Villa?
You know what? First, when I started off at Villa was really good. I loved it. People, the staff, the players, and everyone that was there, amazing. The first 6 months, I was on fire. I was playing well, and then uh, change of manager, change of system. We had a new fitness coach come in. He was doing some crazy like army based regimes. It was crazy, and then After that, my knee never recovered. It just got worse and worse and worse. I don't want to put it down to just him because I'd played a few games in that season. But when I was on Tim Sherwood, we had like an agreement where I'd train like once or twice a week and then I'd be fresh for the weekend.
Yeah.
But the new manager was like, if you can't train because you're the captain every day, then you can't play. Right. So I did obviously went through all the training 4 times a week, then playing the weekend. Before you know it, my knee's blowing up every week, out for 6 weeks, out for 8 weeks, out for 6 months, out for 18 months, you know what I mean? So it was difficult. Yeah. Really was.
Best player you played with in your career. This one's going to get you a lot of stick.
Best player? Whew.
Must be during your time at Man City.
I played with Salah at Fiorentina, you know.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd say David Silva and Yaya Toure. I can't pick between them. Them two are just unbelievable.
Who was your closest? I see Delphi in the comments a little earlier.
Nah, what's Delphi saying? He'll be talking some nonsense as per usual. What's he saying? What's Delphi saying?
Who was you closest like during your time at Man City? What players did you more click with?
It was loads, you know. Jolie and Lescott, Joe Hart, James Milner, Stevie Ireland, Daniel Sturridge. There was loads. Ishmael Malay. The list goes on, but at the end there was only me and Joe Lescott left. I think me and Joe was left. Yeah. And that was it. So me and Joe got closer. But I got on with everyone. I love everyone. I just I'm not one of them bitter people whether I'm doing well or not. I just want to see other people doing well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we're gonna ask the guys viewing in if they got any questions that they want to put.
Gabby's up there taking a mic. Hello, Gabby. He said, who's my bestie? He's an idiot.
I got one though. Would you ever become a coach or a manager? Or is you just happy doing the punditry stuff?
You know what? I never say never, but I quite like the punditry stuff. You know what I mean? As well, yeah. Because a lot of the pundits can be negative when I try to put a little positive spin on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who knows? You know, 10, 15 years, maybe I'll give it a go. That's what I mean. I'm still only 31. You know.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm about 40. Everyone is like, "You're 31." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 31." I started young, didn't I? So
for some reason, I can't. The comments are not refreshing. So if you can see them, you can see what some of these guys are asking. Maybe.
Funniest player? Ooh, Balotelli, definitely the funniest player. I'll have to say Balotelli, who was hilarious. Greatest player you ever played with? Ooh, I've answered that. Yaya Toure, David Silva. Best manager? Mancini. He can't see. I can't see. Why are all these people just bantering on there? Can you not see him?
No, it's not. It's not refreshing for me for some reason.
You not got that fiber optic, fam?
Quarantine, the lockdown has slowed down my Wi-Fi.
Who's my inspiration? Oh, inspiration, you know. Probably just my dad, you know. Just because he always was there for me, definitely. Yeah, I'd have to say my dad, 100%. What else have I got? There's look. Julian, have you got a question? Why? Can you see him?
Let me see if.
Did I always want to be a defender? No, I wanted to be a striker. I wanted to be a top striker, but I got pushed back. Can you see him yet?
No, it's still not coming up for me.
Biggest football idol. Tell Balotelli. I doubt. Man, there's so many jokes on the timeline, you know. First game in the City shirt that approach to the sideline. What was my dad's approach? Yeah, this is a good one. What was my dad's approach like on the sidelines? For all them parents out there who are shouting and bawling at the kids, stop it right now. It's not doing no good for them. My dad used to just be chilled on the sideline, just go and enjoy your game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the coaches are there for, though, to shout at the players, no? Not the parents.
Yeah,
I know it gets a little emotional and that, but nah, gotta leave it to the coaches.
So what happened with that dad? He was just making a lot of noise, or?
No, my dad never said nothing. He was just relaxing. But
Right.
I used to go out with like friends and their parents shouting and bawling. But you know, afterwards, you know, like the player inside, they're embarrassed because the mum and dad's like shouting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Any others in there?
what have we got? How can I jump so high? Them Caribbean G's in it. Oh, man, it's not doing no good for my knee now, is it? Favorite boots? Oof, yes. Them blue R9s, Nike, back in the day. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
R9s, definitely. Everyone wanted the R9s. Toughest opponent, Gareth Bale, definitely.
Oh, is it?
Oof, he was a madness. He was a madness. He was like fit, fast, good technique, everything.
What stadium did you hate to go to? Like, what stadium just when you
Stoke,
went? In
Stoke.
Oh, is it? It's not that. That stadium's not that big. It's quite compact.
Amazing.
Oh, is it?
Stoke fans were unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stoke fans were amazing. But Chelsea, I don't know if I've ever won at Chelsea. I think I got a draw there. Maybe, or one win maybe in 10 years or 10, 13 years, yeah. Chelsea was tough to go to. Especially when they had all them teams with Drogba and Terry and Essien, Makalele, all them boys there. Whew. That was tough.
When you broke through, was Beckham still at United, or did he?
I played with Beckham for England.
Yeah.
Yeah. We lost against Croatia 3-2, and we didn't go to the Euros when I was there. And that was hard, but that was a weird moment, because don't forget, I came to Man City at 14, playing first team at 17. Then I'm playing with David Beckham at 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just all happened too quick. I was just like, no, this can't be David Beckham. Not, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like, I don't really get starstruck by people, but when David Beckham, I was just like, wow, what a guy. Who was the best? What's going on here? Who was the best player you saw or played with coming through youth system? Okay. The best player I saw, youth system. Well, not obvious ones, but Daniel Sturridge was the best by far. But Michael Johnson and Stephen Ireland, wow. They was incredible. Do you remember Michael Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of, he could have been anything he wanted to be. Him. It was sad to see the not getting over the injuries and whatnot, but he was incredible. He really was.
Spoken about in that time when the batch of you guys came through at City, like he was highly regarded.
Yeah, he was going to be the one. Like he's the one that they pinned all the hopes on because he was just next level. Everyone was calling him next Colin Bell. You know what I mean? So he was amazing.
What current players in cities you set up like breaking through? Do you think are gonna like be massive stars?
You know what? It's hard. You know, right? It's hard for these youngsters. Look how good Man City's squad is now. It's so hard. Like, we got a chance because the squad wasn't that good when we was coming through. But I give it to, obviously, everyone knows about Foden.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Sancho come through because he was doing some madness when he was in the academy. I like that Taylor Bellis though. He looks like a good player, centre half.
Yeah.
He looks a really good player, and he's
Would
only,
would
I think, 17, 18.
would you
So,
advise some players like to take that Sancho route? Because I mean, it's worked wonders for him. I know it's not as easy like for other players, but you know, what would you say to a player if they had that sort of opportunity?
it's tough, isn't it? Because you can't tell any young player to leave a big club like Man City. I suppose it depends on who you've got in front of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, like Sancho probably couldn't see a way through David Silva. I don't know
mm,
if Mahrez was that at the time. Bernardo Silva, Foden was ahead of him. So there was loads of players in similar position ahead of him. Stern. So sometimes you just got to weigh up what your chances are. That's all you can do, especially you as a coach. You got to weigh up, your chances. Am I realistically going to get a chance at this club? Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
if the answer's no, then you've got to go learn your trade the hard way. Look at Kieran Trippier. He was behind me and Zabaleta at Man City, and then he goes was unbelievable at Burnley. Then he goes to Tottenham, unbelievable at Tottenham. Now he's playing for Atletico Madrid, and he's
Atletico.
like an
Yeah,
England hero now. You know what I mean? For how he performed in the World Cup. So everyone's got a different route. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's
It's
true.
it's not a it's one of them questions where some will follow one path and some will follow the other.
Yeah, and I suppose for Sancho, you know, being given the number 7 probably showed him, you know, the faith they had in him and what they, you know, like where they saw him fitting into their squad at Dortmund, isn't it? So
Yeah, I think we all knew how good his talent would be, but I don't think anyone thought he would have went and played straight away. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I thought they were, like eased him in a little bit, for like 2 seasons or whatever, but be coming off the bench, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah.
But he went there and he took his chance straight away. So fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Is there any advice that you would give young players of today, throughout your experience? You know, through academy to first team, what would you say to like the young players, especially with what's going on now as well? Like, just what sort of little bit of hope would you give them?
No, I think for young players, it's just believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Like I think it's more difficult for youngsters now because of social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like if you have a bad game, I used to have loads of bad games when I was younger, but no one. They might be on I don't know, a video or something from years ago. What is it, tape player or whatever? But no one's watching. Like it's difficult for them now because everything's on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and it's putting too much pressure on young kids, if you know what I mean. There's
yeah,
nothing wrong with enjoying social media, but don't let social media dictate to you, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And just believe in yourself. Like there's time and place for it. Like, and it's not just even youngsters, it's like players who are still in the game now who suffer from reading comments on social media as well, if you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Players who had to delete it, players who they go home and think about what people are saying to them on social media. Do you know what I mean? So I just say, be careful on social media. And football wise, just believe in your ability. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's coaches who didn't believe in me when I was young. People said I was not good enough, but I always believed I was good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the most important. Like, make sure you've got people who are going to be honest as well with you and tell you, if you've not been good as well. You don't want someone around you who's saying, "Oh, don't worry." You
Yeah,
know what I mean? You've got to have that honest conversation with someone as well, saying, "Well, look, you're not doing this right, or you're going down the wrong path there." You know what I mean? But everyone's got a different route, in their life, and all I would say to them is just, enjoy the ride, but make sure you work hard.
I'm just keeping an eye on that, the time for you, because I know you got that media, so I'll probably do like
Yeah,
2 to 3 more minutes. If there
yeah,
if there
cool.
is any major comments in there that um
It's on my friend's message. A good question. What Joel is saying here? What's he saying? Good question. Why do you ask good question, Joel? Has social media made development easier in your? I think it's made it easy in terms of there's more stuff on social media that you can do. You know, like before, when I was coming for, if you could do a Cruyff, you was like the man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, like, I think that the kids nowadays are technically better. And I think the FIFA's been really good for the kids as well because it gives them, you know, they can engage with that. And it feels like that it makes them know every single player as well, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. I think social media is helping him on that front for sure. Can you see the questions yet or not?
Nah, it's just paused. It's not loading up for me.
How do you know you at the right academy as a youngster? You
Chicken.
don't know you at the right. You know what I mean? These questions is like, I think everyone wants a perfect answer, don't
Yeah,
they?
there's
But
not.
it's not there. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna, like, some players will start off fast and then fall off, and then some
Yeah.
people start slow. Everyone's got a different journey. You know what I mean? So I think you just got to embrace it and, you know, enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Probably gonna wrap it there so you can just prepare for your, what do you call it, unless there's one that you particularly want to answer in there.
Look, what? What's the funniest Lescott story? What is the funniest Lescott and Gabby story? Well, I can't say it on camera, to be honest. Yeah, it's not after 9 o'clock, so sorry, I can't say it until later. Maybe call me back later. Let me see if I got one. Okay, that's a good question. Did they teach you finance? You see, this, yes, that is a good question.
Brilliant, brilliant.
No, they didn't teach me. You know what? It's mad because you get all this money. Now, let's not beat around the bush. Footballers get paid well, and everyone knows they get paid well. So there's no point trying to sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine being, I don't know, 16, 17, go from £80 a week, and then you get your professional contract, might be 17, 18, like whatever, whenever you get, and you get on like thousands a week, whatever that number might be. Let's not go into detail. Like, generally, you don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? And it's not that there's not avenues to go down, because there's financial advisors and all that sort of thing, but there's been so many stories where people have invested in people and they've ripped them off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you have a good agent, they're supposed to sort that side out as well. But not many agents are really sorting out the finances. They're more concentrating on the football deal, making sure, you know, they're getting the best deal for you. So a lot of the time, it's just left to the family, and then, you know, the players' parents. You know what I mean? So if you come from an area like me, I keep it real. I come from, you know, a council house. You know what I mean? So then to be earning thousands, I don't know what to do with that money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my dad always said to me, like, no matter what you're gonna do, just make sure you buy a house. And whatever you do, just make sure you buy a house. So I bought the first house at 18, and then I moved, and then I sold it, and I made a little bit of profit on the house.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, this is something I can do. So on the side, I do property as well.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
So it was from that little bit of advice from my dad who told me, just make sure you buy a house, that obviously rolled on for me to being like a property developer as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But they don't teach you about finance because a lot of players nowadays are protected by their agents. You know what I mean? And I think the PFA definitely, they've been trying over the years as well to help out with that. And I think definitely going forward, I don't want to say you should be able to get a certain amount until you're 21 maybe, but it might just help players being able to concentrate a little bit more about the football and, you know, whatnot. Because I keep it 100. I had, by the age from 17 to 20, I had an R8, Audi R8, and Aston Martin had a range. I was going crazy, you know what I mean? Because I was only a kid, and that's what we did. That's what we did. But again, it was a learning curve for me, and that's how I learned the value of money.
Yeah, no, that was top. I think that little bit at the end was definitely needed. It's even something that I've discussed with a few people, you know, players that are within the academy setup. And you're right, you know, when you come from nothing per se, you know, and you're getting all this money, and with the social media stuff, and you're seeing like what some of these rich rappers or whatever they're doing, you sort of want to live a bit of a lifestyle. So
it's hard not to do, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
it starts with only human. I think that's what people need to forget. Don't remember, we're only human, so we're gonna we watch TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we watch our idols or other players doing it or whatever. And you know, music videos, and sometimes you can, you know, get a little bit gassed.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
But like Mike said, guys, the important thing is that you invest, and you invest in yourself. That would allow you to have a legacy after football. So you're not sort of relying just on that weekly wage or whatever it is. And that's something that people in other aspects of life can take as well. You need to make sure that you're not just working and spending the money and not investing into things that could make you more money and set you up in a better way. But Mike, listen, pleasure having you on. I'm watching the time for you because I know you.
Don't worry. No, but I just want to say, Lambeth Tigers, honestly, keep up all the good work. I know there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't really see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So honestly, even just speaking to you, that's when you know, Dan rang me straight away. It was like, you need to join. I was like, yeah, of course, because obviously I know the stuff that you lot do behind the scenes that maybe not be appreciated, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to say, keep up the good work in the community, man, and then you keep producing these top players, man.
No, pleasure, bro. Nice one, man. Have a good one, yeah?
Take it easy.
All right, nice one. See you later, everyone.